Hello guys, every good name is taken here, and welcome to another video. And we will be doing another review today. You got two for this Wednesday, I believe it was. And this one was community voted. It was quite decisive. It got like 10 likes or something in total. And yeah. We're gonna have a look at the Tiger 2 today, and I will be comparing it to the Löwe. Usually I would pick a tank, a Tech 3 tank, but I feel like the Löwe is the most comparable. And yeah, let's just straight up start with the gun. You have a DPM of 2100, which is pretty much average on tier 8 heavy tanks. The Löwe having just a slightly bit more of 2200. Both tanks have a 105mm, so they will deal 310 alpha damage. With APCR that would be 260 with 285 penetration. And for the Tiger 2, and for HE that would be 420 with 60. Your penetration on the AP rounds is 225, which is less than the Löwe, which agrees to all ammo types except for HE, where the Löwe just has a bit more than Tiger 2. In terms of aim time, both tanks are exactly the same. In terms of accuracy, though, the Löwe has just a slight edge. It's just about 1%. But if we're gonna have the numbers, it's 0.31 for the Tiger 2 and 0.3 for the Löwe. The gun handling on the move and on turret rotation is just 0.01 better for the Löwe, so he got another edge there. And the gun depression of the Tiger 2 is 7 degrees with 15 degrees of gun elevation, which is once again worse than the Löwe of 8 degrees down and 17 upwards. Coming to the mobility, the Tiger has its first bit of edge with 38 top and 12 back. Which is better in terms of forward speed than the Löwe, which has 35 forwards, but the Löwe has 15 backs, so they average them out, kind of, even though I would say backward speed is more important. In terms of power to weight, the one of the Tiger 2 is much better, especially as it's not weighing as much. You weigh 20 ton less than a Löwe, which you can also just see from how the tanks are built and shaped. I think you can quite clearly see that. The terrain resistances are for the most part also better on the Tiger 2. If you want to see the exact numbers, of course, you can check that out on BlitzStars. Yeah, traverse speed is better for the Löwe by just 3 degrees. You got 27 on the Tiger 2. And that's it for the most part. We're gonna have a look at the armor in game in the garage, but just looking at the hit points, you have 1700 base, 1802 with 8 extra hit points, and the Löwe has 1800 and 1908 with extra hit points, so another edge there for the Löwe. And if we just have a straight number for the armor profile, we got 220, 10, 220, 180 for the turret of the Tiger 2, and 160, 180 for the whole armor. If we compare that to the Löwe, it's much better. You got 120, 80 and 80, and 150 and 80 and 80. So the backs are the same, but they don't matter all too much, other than maybe getting HE by high caliber guns. And yeah, else the armor is just way superior for the Tiger 2. And that's pretty much it. And let's just have a look at how GC is gonna handle himself against this object 252U. He takes a shot, whilst trying to wiggle, puts his adrenaline on, and is gonna put this guy to sleep. He got some support from the SU and should be able to clear him here. Gets his max shot and wins the game. Salutes there in the end. GG. GC here ending up with 3.8k damage. Gets his first class, 3 kills, not quite enough base experience for an ace. The SU here also doing a good job with 3000 damage. And yeah, really good game. He missed quite a bit of shots considering it's a German gun. But that doesn't matter all too much, and let's just go straight Into the look on the armor profile here now. As I said, this turret has frontally 220. There's not a lot of angle in here, just a really slight bit, so it might go up to like 230. So the cheeks are pennable with any premium round that meets this tank, other than it's a really low pen gun on tier 7. So tier 8s don't have a trouble with that whatsoever. The turret our deck can get overmatched. You got quite the cupola, but if you wiggle your tank with the pretty decent traverse speed of this tank, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Your armor, frontal armor is nicely angled, but it's not as well angled as the lower plate, making this lower plate actually stronger since the armor buff this tank received. So if you want to pen this tank, shoot it on the upper plate. Sounds weird, but yes, if this tank turns its turrets just slightly, this one becomes a weak spot here on either side. So abuse that if you have the chance to. The side profile is quite huge, which is why this tank has not a lot of camouflage. The ammo rack sits right here or right here and here if you want to know that. And yeah, back is not a lot to talk about, and you can also side scrap with this tank quite nicely as the side arm is 100mm. There's nothing that can overmatch you there, so it is quite nice. And yeah, for the loadout that we use, it's pretty standard here, not a lot of surprises. Also here, I'm going with the extra hit points. I don't think the armor does all too much, so I'm sticking with that. And yeah, let's just go straight into a live game and see how this tank performs on the battlefield. And we actually get the exact same map as GC here, who has provided the replay for us, and we get the same spawn. Shout out to GC as well, he has a YouTube channel, go check it out in case you want to see a tryhard play some games on stream. And yeah, so we're gonna do the same as what GC did. We will take this ridgeline here. As this tank has 7 degrees of gun oppression, we definitely can utilize that. And of course, if you go hold down, it just makes your armor even better. So that's definitely something that you want to try to do as much as possible. We have an SU and a Smasher in the enemy team as well as a P49. You know my opinion on these tanks. But it will make for quite the pain playing in the middle here. Already messed up the first shot there on the IS-5. And we don't want to peek up too far. Again, this gun oppression on this tank is not that great over the front. I think you only get those 7 degrees over the side, but I could be mistaken. If we want to push over. Got Pendy in the upper plate by the IS-5. I think we should be pushing now. Pop that adrenaline. Get onto that IS-5. We might actually here do a ram as well, making him down to a possible one shot. And we actually bounce another shot here, which is quite unfortunate. Let's make some space so the team can shoot him too. Put one into him and it should get cleared by that Tiger P. And there you go. And let's turn around and our focus towards the other flank. The enemy IS-5 obviously not happy with the result. Put one into that super Persian, be careful of that Smasher. And we might be able to play him. Yep, the accuracy of the Tiger 2 definitely is gonna treat you nicely. If you wanna look for an accurate heavy tank, this is definitely worth the pickup. And you can also learn how to side scrape with this tank really nicely, so I would also give this tank to beginners if you want to learn how to use your armor effectively. It really will show you wonders in terms of the learning process, in my opinion. What a nice shot there onto that Comet. Sadly it was just a track shot. And as the 49 just shot us, we know exactly where his position is. That Comet should be dealt with by our SU and Shadow there. So let's turn our attention to the guy over here, who seemingly is still full HP, as I don't think he was spotted yet. Also shot heated us, so not quite sure how much to expect from this play. let's surprise ourselves. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this tank. You got a pretty strong frontal armor. You can side scrape quite nicely with this tank as well. It has a really good gun, so it's very starter friendly. If you want to get to learn the basics, even though you should already do that at tier. If you are at tier 8, it should be in your brain already. And we get a nice finish here with the Tiger 2. Really nice legendary camo, by the way. Wargaming have done a great job with that. And yeah, that's basically all for this tank. As you can see here, the gun can troll you a bit as it's German, but usually it does not do so. And one more question I have to answer here is that it is getting, it's stated a lot that this tank would be overpowered. Do I agree with that? Absolutely not. It is a very strong tank that still can suffer though, especially with quite a bit of weak points that it has just with the turret itself. And yeah, this is it from me for this review. And now, as this is a community review that we do weekly, I'd like you to tell me in the comment section below which tank you want me to review next. And please, before suggesting a tank, check out my tank review playlist first. You can see all the tank reviews I have done in there. And yeah, if you want to see a tank as well that has already been commented, give it a like. The comment with the most likes will be reviewed next. This has been it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed it and see you all again next time. Bye bye.